have to say, this might be the most hungover I've ever been in my entire
Oh, great. Okay.
life.
I'm glad it's nothing to do with the virus or for whatever reason you're not on Twitter right now.
No, I came back
You're
today.
back.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into your story, can we talk about what happened?
Nothing. I just got tired of like constant coronavirus shit.
Yeah.
So like it's just like constant, you know. And I
Yeah.
think people are just like so many different opinions and it's just like, oh my God. And it's been like that for I mean what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even know how long. So I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, and I've been stuck in my house for this is day 10, I guess. So I'm just like, fuck.
Sounds like it's getting to you.
Well, I mean, I've basically been drinking for like 7 days straight
Healthy.
because yeah, one of my best friends is here and he's a chiropractor and his city is on lockdown. So we're just like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
Drink.
I don't, yeah,
Glad you're
it's not,
glad you're not using it to do anything productive.
there's nothing productive to do. I don't know.
No, you could read a book or learn something. I don't know.
I mean, I have been playing Animal Crossing.
Oh my God. You're one of those people.
I never have been before, but I don't
Might as
know.
well, since we're
Yeah,
all stuck inside.
yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
But
Okay. So it wasn't any like harassment or anything like that that got to you and forced you off
no,
Twitter.
no, I mean, that's happened before, but not this time. This time it was just like, I was just exhausted with it.
There we
But I mean,
go.
I didn't gone that long. I was only gone for like a day and a half. So
I didn't even notice. So as
I
rude as that is,
don't think anybody did. It's okay.
I'm upset because I'm now back home and my road trip
Yeah,
was
that's
going super well.
how far did you get to Arizona and then you had to go back?
Yeah, just to Arizona. I went and spent some time with some buddies. We didn't really leave the house. He's been like getting really into painting, and so we were just like at his house. We did a lot of painting. We went out, shot some photography, which was cool. And then I met up with this chick from crypto Twitter named Rect. I don't know if you know her. Um,
Mm-mm.
no, okay, yeah, she's got a very small account, but she was actually in the same city. And then I went and hung out with King. I don't know if you know King.
Maybe. I don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah, I don't know. So we hung out for a day, and then I was like, "Fuck it, I got to get home. I got work to do." And I was kind of blowing off work just to hang out with them a little bit. So I'm back. Uh-oh, says my internet's unstable. That's not good. Let's see if any problem. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
You cut
S
out for like half a second, but it wasn't
There we go.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're still good on your end, so I think it's on me. Um, but yeah, back now, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm waiting for this to all blow over, and then back on my trip. I was planning on heading out to Colorado to see Rick, hang out with Rick for a little, but his whole city's on lockdown, and then I was gonna make my way to Texas, so potentially see you, all the other homies in Texas, and
Yeah.
then visit Austin after that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like, when is this going to be over?
Right?
Like, I mean, I live in a small town and we already have, I think, 2 confirmed cases here, which I didn't really think it would like come this way, but it did. And it's one of them is the judge's daughter that like lives with him. So we only have one judge here.
Okay, yeah, so that's a very small town. You would expect it not to get anywhere near you guys,
Yeah.
but it's there.
Yeah, we are completely on lockdown. So yeah, it's whatever, I guess. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
The
good.
thing is, like, there's not anything like around here either. So like, there's no like parks or anything like that. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of like, okay, I guess I'll just stay at home like I usually do. But just the fact of the matter, like, even if you go to the grocery store, like, there's no food. Everything's sold out. Like, I think I've been like 3 different times, and it's like literally. I mean, my best friend is here, and I was gonna make him a cake because his birthday's on Friday, and there was no sugar. There was like I couldn't find anything but like almond flour or whatever. And so I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna go get like a box cake, right? None, all gone. I was like, are you kidding me?
Even cake
Like,
sold out.
I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, see, I think that's an issue with these smaller towns is that they're not getting restocked as often. So
Yeah,
once it's sold out for a while, which was another one of the issues that I was having was like if I go to one of these small towns, it's probably going to be sold out. Like when I was in Scottsdale, they were restocking everything pretty much every day. Like I went and they were restocking beans and restocking meat as I was trying to pick it up. But in these smaller towns, it's like you guys are kind of fucked.
yeah, we really are. And there's like a bigger town, like 20 minutes from us. Like that's the closest bigger town and it's in New Mexico. And those people were coming over here because everything was sold out over there. And I'm just like,
It's
Jesus
nuts.
Christ. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm ready for it to be over. But yeah, that's
Right?
that.
The fact that you have to stay inside yourself is kind of what's shitty about this whole situation. Like you said, there's not much to do, but the fact that they're like you can't go outside and
Yeah.
everything's sold out, it's just a miserable situation altogether.
Yeah, for sure.
But enough coronavirus bullshit.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. We don't need to contribute to the conversation because
Yeah, it's so annoying.
yeah, we've got enough people talking about it. Glad you're back on Twitter, and I'm glad we're doing this episode. People have been reaching out to me. I don't know if they've been reaching out to you, but they've been saying, we should interview each other to get a little backstory on ourselves and if we've had any depressing stories. So, I'm sure everyone who's watching this knows you, but can you just give them a little rundown on yourself, and then we can get into kind of the depressing stuff?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna roast you hard this episode. I hope you know that.
Okay. I come from a healthcare background. I worked in healthcare for 9 years before I kind of flip-flopped over. I've been working since I was 15. Like, I mean, I don't know. So anyway, I had decided to stop. I quit my job actually. Like didn't really even put in a 2 weeks. I was managing a med spa here in this town actually. I was making good money and stuff, but I just got really pissed off because my boss told me that I was a bitch to people in the spa. So I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Um, and then I hadn't been working for like a little while, and one of my friends, well, she wasn't even really my friend, but I knew them through like people from my hometown, right? And so she like hit me up on Facebook and was like, hey, like, do you want to do something like working from home? I was like, okay, what is it? She was like, it's really easy and you get paid really good. I was like, okay. So that's kind of how I got into crypto. I started doing community management with this girl that I knew. And yeah, I was really shitty ICO that I mean, I had no like I knew like I heard about Bitcoin, right? Like in like maybe 2013, but I never really like I was in college and I was like fucked up all the time, which I mean, nothing's really changed since then, but I mean, and I was working then too. I worked for a cardiologist, so I was working and going to school, and I just didn't really ever take the time to like look into it. So fast forward to late 2017, early 2018, and that's whenever I mean, the thing was I couldn't work for somebody without like knowing what I was doing. That's just the type of person I am. And so like that's when I started diving into it. And it was pretty solid for like 4 months. They were paying us like 48 grand a month um
That's
to do
insane.
all of their socials. Yeah, it was crazy. All of well, and it was like a bunch of like hackers, right? So I think like the executives in the company probably weren't any older than like 19 or 20. Like, so it was not like it was clearly a shit coin. Like it was not, I don't know what, like it was weird. But yeah, so then all of this stuff started coming up that they were stealing funds and spending it on cocaine and strippers. And then there was like people that were in the community that were like pissed because the project roadmap, they kept pushing things back and like it just like it was wild. So clearly that got cut off, right? Because they were really bad at communicating with us and we could never like get anybody on the phone. And they switched CEOs like 3 times, and they had a guy that was an ex FBI agent then became their CEO, and like shit got it just got fucking weird. So yeah, that's about me. That's how I'm here.
Okay, a couple things for anyone who's wondering. It was me, and I was buying a lot of cocaine and strippers. I was running this coin. For anyone who's curious, that sounds like a mess, and also that sounds like the biggest scam ever. Your friend's like, "Hey, do you want to make a bunch of money working from home?" Like that's the
Yeah.
typical MLM. Is that multi? Yeah, MLM, multi-level marketing bullshit. Hey, you can work from
Yeah.
home, sell some
Yeah, it was
Avon.
kind of like that. I mean, it was kind of like that, but it wasn't like I like it wasn't somebody that I like knew was doing something like that, right? Like her and her husband like were from the same hometown that I was in. It wasn't like they hit me up more like, "Oh, do you want to sell like
Yeah.
skinny wraps or something?" you know? So like, and I've always been like into technology. I've always been kind of a technical person, so I was kind of like, well, might as well just like look into it and see. And then like plus the money was like really good. So
Yeah,
I was
what the
like,
fuck?
I don't
50
even
grand a
care.
month? Like that's people's salary. That's more than people make in a year, and you
Yeah.
were making it in a month. And
Yeah.
it
Well,
just
we ended up hiring some people from, I think we hired one guy from like India or something that we had to pay him like, I can't remember the exact amount, but it was like not a lot. And then one guy, I think from Germany or something, right? Because it was like around the clock. And like, so we had to have people in like different time zones, right? Because we were both based here in the US. But yeah, it was just a fucking shit show. Like
that's
such a,
insanity. I like this just fell into your lap. Like people
yeah,
dream of getting jobs in this industry, and they work
yeah,
and network and work their asses off, and someone from your hometown was just like, "Hey, you want to
random.
manage this community for $50,000
Yeah,
a month?" I'm gonna just say that again because
yeah,
that makes me upset. I'm over here working my ass off, and you're getting dropped 50 grand. This was, I'm assuming, a while back when money was flowing and being thrown around like crazy, right?
yeah.
There we
That's
go.
exactly what it was. It was like early 2018. Yeah.
Got it.
So,
So they had
um,
ICO funds just to
yeah,
throw
I
around.
mean, yeah. And that was, it was weird because it was like, I had never experienced anything like that, nor had I been thrown into like the community on Twitter. And so that was kind of my first like it was almost like I was like shell shocked, I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like who are all these people? Like it's just not what I expected. But I mean, I was fine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But then for a little bit I was like, what the hell is happening? And then I think like being a chick too and kind of being like on Twitter, it was like, what is going on? Like, why are all these people like trying to talk to me? Like, I didn't understand it, but
Yeah, we we
um,
we got into that one in the slit episode, but
yeah,
can you just talk about it a little more? What it's like being a chick on crypto Twitter with all of these, myself included, weird, nerdy, dorky dudes who don't get a lot of attention from people.
yeah. I mean, look, like I said, I live in a small town. I'm fucking bored all the time. And so when I was doing community management stuff, like I would actually be working while also like on Twitter. And at first I like kind of took it a little more serious, It's like, okay, I'm gonna, be professional and da 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 da. And then like when I realized that nobody on there that like, I don't know, like there's like 5 people that are like super professional. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of shit posting. But yeah, I started getting a lot of attention. So like, I don't know, just being a normal person, I was like, oh hey, this is kind of cool. Like I don't talk to anybody in my real life. So getting attention on Twitter, like might as well just like fall in line with the crowd and just be who I am and talk shit. Cause that's kind of how I am in regular life too. Like I don't really have much of a filter. So it was, I don't know. I think I took it pretty well, like there has been like some times where I'm just like, these fucking people are fucking assholes. But I've gotten to the point where I just like troll, like either I troll back or I mute them or block them or whatever. So I used to take it a lot more personally, and now I'm just like, whatever. Um, there's a lot of thirsty people on Twitter. I don't think it's just in the community. I think it's all over Twitter. Um, and I don't know. It's interesting. That's the only like way I can describe it. And it's fun. I mean, but it's definitely weird also. I don't
Yeah. No,
know.
I mean, I feel like women do get a little bit more attention on crypto Twitter, and then I think Twitter as a whole, everyone, all women kind of get the creepy DMs, but I feel like
Yeah.
the people on crypto Twitter are just a different breed. Um,
Yeah. And I mean, I started making friends with a lot of the degenerates. And so um, I think maybe that kind of helped also because I kind of felt like I had like this little like safety net. Like if somebody started attacking me or something, like they would jump in. And it's gotten a little bit better as far as like me relying on them to help me fight my battles.
now,
but yeah,
now
at
you're
first that was
comfortable enough to just tell people to fuck right off.
yep, pretty much.
So really quick before we move on, what the fuck does a community manager do? Because that sounds like a made up profession. I don't know.
No, it's really not. I mean,
Maybe I'm like too far removed from like the business world. Like I don't know if they have community
yeah,
managers in like any other communities or industries.
yeah. I mean, so basically, um, like like adminning like their Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts. It's almost kind of like a social media manager, but I guess in
Which is also a made up job in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, like more so we were like in Reddit and Bitcoin Talk and on Telegram and pretty much just answering questions, making sure that things got posted when they needed to be posted, trying to like keep up the image that they wanted to portray for their project, which is kind of didn't really work out too well for us, obviously, because they were a shit show as it was. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of in community management. But then the same girl that like got me into this stuff, her husband like wanted to start an STO, right? And so like when everything ended with that ICO, this guy was like, I'm gonna tokenize like oil and gas stuff. And I was like, okay. He was like, do you want to be my director of administration? I was like, fuck it, sure.
Yeah.
And so
That sounds like you'll make a lot of money. So yeah,
and
definitely.
so yeah, it was so basically I helped them write the white paper, did all of their they had another company outside of that. So I did all of their like admin work and stuff. And obviously, like the market crashed, and then that whole thing like fell apart because there was like arguments between everybody. So like actually, I don't talk to those people at all anymore because one night he just flipped his shit on me, and I was like, all right, fuck this. Like I'm just gonna stick to fucking shit posting on Twitter. Like I don't need to be involved with people like this, and just like taking a toll on my mental health, like having to deal with like the stress of everything. And so yeah, I don't know. But
So
yeah, as far as the community manager, it was just more so like basically like a social media manager, but that's what they called it. I don't know.
there we go. So when you say flipped his shit, can you get into any details on what exactly happened? Do you care
Um,
to?
I mean, I can. It's just kind of, it's like, it's kind of boring. Like he got into an argument with another one of the people that was on the project or whatever. And one night I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And he just like totally like, but I mean, they had just gotten into it and I had just been in Houston with them, getting shit in order. And that it happened that day. I flew out the next day. And the next day, I guess he had gotten into it with him again. And then I asked a question and it was just like blew up. And so I was like, whatever, dude.
Don't need that stress in your life. Fuck them.
hmm
There we go.
Yeah.
So you've done the productive thing and said I'm just gonna shitpost on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, I did finish a 24-week coding boot camp. So technically, I did do something. The depressing part of that is that it was $11,000 to do that. Um,
Cost
so,
$11,000 for this coding boot camp.
mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's not too bad, honestly. I don't know exactly
yeah,
how rigorous it was. I know my buddy went through one
Yeah.
actually, and they were taking, or they like planned to take, I think it's like 10 to 20% of his salary for life or some shit like that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, they didn't do that with me. It was through UT Austin. And so like I had a coding mentor that I like talked to twice a week, like on Zoom. I mean, I don't know. I personally think that you can learn everything that you really need to learn on your own. But it's good, I guess, to have direction if you're not one of those people that's kind of like a self-starter. But yeah, whenever I was looking into it, I was like, I mean, they're all like basically about the same amount, I think. But they did have like career services where you could like get a job and stuff, but I'm kind of in a position where I don't really work that much. So
well, lucky you.
yeah.
You've
So
just
I
got
mean,
this very tough podcast that you need to put out once a week.
yeah, yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
anyone who wants to sponsor this because we're still looking.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna beg for that one until we hit a sponsor.
But yeah.
There we
I mean,
go.
yeah, sponsor us.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Come on, let's.
If you sponsor us, I promise I won't be drunk or hungover anymore, okay? I'll
That's a
be perfect.
lie. And that's also part of what makes this show so great is that I think you've been drinking before or during every single
Mhm.
episode. So
Yeah, pretty much. Today's the only day I think that I haven't. It's because I'm so hungover that I just like, oh my God. I drank 2 bottles of wine last night. I'm like, want to cry.
little hair of the dog might fix that up.
Yeah,
Um,
my friend is in there right now making a whiskey drink. I'm like, the thought of whiskey makes me want to throw up right now.
yeah.
But
What time is it? It's like 3. Okay, it's 5 for you guys. You're allowed to start
yeah,
drinking.
yeah, it's
That's
5:30
fair.
here.
Hungover at 5. Jesus Christ, you must have been really
Uh,
going at it last night.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I do want to move on to a different topic. We talked about it beforehand, and this is kind
Okay.
of where it gets, I'd say, a little bit depressing. And I don't know how much you want to talk about it or how much you care to talk about. But you went through some pretty heavy stuff in the last, what was it, like a year or two since you've been in the
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
Um, so
Um,
are you comfortable talking about that?
yeah, yeah, I can. But just full disclosure, it is pretty trigger, like the trigger warning or whatever, like there is some pretty deep shit. So
Yeah,
just be aware of that if you're watching this. But yeah, so in September of 2018, when like my whole life like started falling apart, like my friends, like I had this whole group of friends and there was like all this drama and they like started like making it publicly known, like on Facebook and stuff. And like I just had a lot of stuff going in my personal life. So actually, I did attempt to commit suicide and I was in a coma for 4 days. And when I woke up, I was like, okay, like my mental health was like all over the place. And so I actually flew out to LA, was in the process of getting a divorce, was went to rehab there, like a mental health facility, but it was like one of the really bougie ones where like you have your phone and we had like a gourmet chef and like we got massages and like it was really like bougie. But anyways, I found out there that the medication I was taking was actually like not the right medication. I had been misdiagnosed. And so, because I was taking 60 to 90 milligrams of Adderall a day for probably, I started taking Adderall at that point. It had been like 8 years that I was on it. And my doctor had just kept increasing the doses. And so, yeah, basically that all happened. And then I ended up staying in LA. And I started working with a group called Blockchain Management Group and was doing their social media stuff with them. And a couple of the projects that they had, like obviously 2018, that's when we really, like, really dropped down to like 3,000 or something. So then that all like fell apart. And I ended up coming back home. But I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but
that is exactly what I was
that's
talking about.
that's kind of what happened. And I at that point had, my all my money like was in crypto for the most part. Like I had like a little nest egg or whatever, but like at that point I had been putting a lot of my money into it. So like I basically lost like, well, technically it's not lost if you don't sell it, but but it was just like it was super like shocking to me that we were gonna go that we went down that far from where we were at or whatever. That was kind of the first experience that I had of like it being like gut wrenching. But yeah, I mean, I pulled out of it, pulled through it. I'm still a psychopath, but
Still here, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, maybe the coronavirus will come get me and take me out of this.
Oh man, someone who knows somebody who has it's probably livid with you saying that right
I know.
now.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm trying to make light of a shitty
Yeah,
situation, but
don't apologize. You don't need to apologize. This is a show where we can say and do as we please. That's why we started it. Um, Very touchy subject, and I said I was going to roast you for it, but I don't think I can roast you for any of that. Other than maybe, do you still have Adderall that I can have? Because I could
no,
really
I
use
don't.
some of
I
that. So you
actually don't take any.
completely
Um,
off the drugs.
yeah, I don't take. Well, I mean, prescription drugs. Yes.
There we go. So all the bad drugs you're off of. You're not
Yeah.
taking any of that pill
Yeah.
pushing
No.
nonsense. Um,
Yeah. No. I mean, I've gotten a lot better, and it wasn't like it was definitely not an experience that I would want anybody to go through. But yeah, if there's anybody out there that is struggling or has anything going on in their lives, they feel like they're overwhelmed, like feel free to reach out to me. Because I've been there and it gets better.
yeah, you're clearly doing a lot better. You're always cheery and happy. Maybe that's because you're drunk all the time. I don't know. But okay, sorry. So can we just get a little quick timeline again? When did you fly out to LA again?
It was right after I got out of the hospital, so it was like mid to end of September 2018.
September. Okay, so that was right before the drop off because we dropped off.
Yeah,
I can't even
we went off a
remember.
cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was while you were in LA, right?
yeah, it was in LA, and LA is very expensive to live in.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
um,
I'm a little bit south of LA, and I can tell everyone that's listening to this that it is very expensive in California. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, you made like 200 grand off the 4 months with that company. You had quit your job. It sounds like you're almost all in on crypto at this point. Um,
uh-huh,
and then you move out to LA. You're working for this company, blockchain or block something or other.
yeah, BMG, you can just call it
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're blockchain media group.
management group. Yeah.
Management group. Sorry.
Mhm.
So you're about as all in as you can get in the crypto industry.
Yeah.
And then we went to 3K. Um,
Hmm.
how did that affect, because you had just, gone to the hospital, you were in rehab, and then that happened. What kind of toll did that take on your mental after the fact? Because,
Um, I was in such a good place when I was out there that like, yeah, it was scary seeing that happen. But at that point, I was like not I was tired of being like sad and upset, and I still had like all of those things that I had learned. Like I was still going to therapy, I was still seeing a psychiatrist, you know what I mean? So it was like I didn't let it affect me, I think, as much as it would have had what happened in September not happened. You know what I mean?
there we go.
um
Looking at the
yeah.
brighter side of things, being positive, I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's yeah, at that point in time it was like holy shit, like I just lost so much money, but also like I had other things that were like going for me and I had picked myself back up, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was interesting to see too though. I mean, even like the sentiment on Twitter, obviously kind of flip-flopped a lot, so it was like interesting seeing it all happen. But um yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I was in a weird spot.
Yeah, yeah, very weird spot. You had a lot going on. I feel like
Yeah.
this was just another stress to add to your life, but it sounds like you kind of brushed it off and we're dealing with other stuff and on this very positive kick from
Yeah.
everything else that you
Yeah.
had kind of overcome, which is
Hmm.
super solid to hear. Um, so I guess with BMG, things didn't work out. I don't even know if that's still a company anymore just because there
No,
we
I mean,
go.
he actually reached out to me, like the person that was like started the whole thing. He actually reached out to me the other day and he was like, "Are you still interested in like doing some social media for X and Y company?" And I just like, no. He hit me up on Telegram. I was
Whoa,
like,
wait a minute. We need sponsors for this show. And those guys need some advertising, and they've got the advertising dollars. I think you should circle back, and you have way more connections in the industry than I do, and you've done so much more than I think a lot of people on Twitter have done. I'm kind of shocked at it, to be honest, because we look at you now and you're just drinking like a maniac and doing this god awful podcast. I don't know what happened, what went wrong. Um, Honestly,
like, I just got tired of it. I think I just got tired of the constant, like, we don't know. They're trying to make this work, like this project. Like I worked on another project called Some Talk, and it was just constant, like back and forth on what they think we should do, what like having ideas and stuff. I was the only female on that team. Um, and so I just felt like I wasn't really being heard. And that was the last project I really worked with. And they ended up not, I think they ended up selling their technology to somebody. So I was just like, fuck this. Like, this is just retarded. Sorry. I shouldn't say that. This is dumb.
yeah, there we go. Language. There's a couple things we can't say on this show.
Yeah,
As
sorry.
hosts, our guests can come on and say whatever they want, but we got
True.
to be professional. I say professional in air quotes.
Yeah.
How long ago was that you were working for these guys?
That was when was that? That was I started working with BMG in the at the end of 2018. So it was probably like early 2019. Probably like May, no, I'd probably say like March or April when they kind of like when things kind of fell off. So then in May, that's whenever I decided to start learning how to code. And then I got finished with the boot camp in October.
Okay.
So
So for the last 4 or 5 months, it's just been vacation, do as you please. What have you been up to?
um mm, shitting on people on Twitter.
Oh goodness, very
Uh,
productive use of time. I'm
well,
jealous.
I've done like some front end work for like a couple different people that I know personally, but it's not something like some people are either you're either really into coding or you're not, right? And like I just feel kind of like if I don't have to, like then I don't want to. So I mean, I know how, like, I still do some little projects or whatever, like for people if they need something. But it's not really like I'm not super passionate about it. So yeah, like I'll do some of that, but mostly like on Twitter. I don't really have any other like social media. I have like a small Instagram account, but I don't really like focus on that because whenever all that stuff happened, like where people were like dragging me on Twitter on Facebook, I was like, I'm fucking done with this shit. So I deleted Facebook and I've never gone back to it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Facebook's a mess.
that's really all I've been up to. Obviously, I moved into a new house, so that was kind of my main focus for a while was getting moved in and getting settled and all of that jazz. So it's process, man. It's a process. Brand like all new furniture. I have taken up a hobby of building furniture, like because I've been ordering it and it's not put together. So I'm like, well, I
Is
guess
this
I can put it
is this
together.
IKEA furniture? Because fuck
No,
IKEA.
it's not. It's like from Wayfair or whatever, but it doesn't come assembled. So like I think you put together three beds, a desk, a coffee table, like a end table, or I put together five end tables. I know this is such compelling stuff, but
Yeah,
like,
our listeners are probably so excited to be hearing about this kind of stuff.
but yeah, that's really all I kind of have done. And then this now, I just
Yeah, this waste of time.
stories.
This is not going as well as I thought it would. We got to step it up. We need some more depressing stories. The people who are listening to this need to get on here. They need to tell us our depressing stories, their depressing stories. I've got nothing, so I couldn't do an episode. At some point, you're gonna have to interview me, but it's gonna be a very bland, boring episode.
You don't
Um,
struggle with depression or anything? How sad.
no, I am happy as a clam. Very poor right now. Crypto has made me extremely poor, but still happy as a clam. Still garbage posting on Twitter. Um, Looking for sponsors. Just gonna keep throwing that in there. The subliminal messages will hopefully get to the
Somebody,
Twitter's.
maybe we can manifest it.
Yeah, there we go. We'll call up Nye. We can help. Nye can help us manifest this, and we
Yeah.
will get some sponsors. I just feel like no one wants to put their name on a podcast called "Crypto is Depressing."
Maybe
Um,
we can get like a I don't know, like Prozac or somebody
that
to
was the
spell.
original plan. We get some depression meds, some online therapists. What are those stress balls? You can get some 20% off a stress ball when you order through us
Yeah.
with
Or
code.
like now they have like the app, like the therapy apps or whatever.
There are apps. There are therapy apps. Where is this world going? I'm
I saw it on Instagram. I don't know if they were trying to advertise to me because they think I have mental issues,
I was
but
gonna say they were clearly targeting you.
targeting advertising, yeah. I guess like it's like you can get a therapist and then I guess you can like message text with them or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It's weird.
that sounds like something that crypto Twitter desperately needs.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody to talk to. Bless
Sorry.
you. That is okay.
I probably have corona.
Oh God, no!
Just
It's a
kidding.
dry cough, and I'm fucked because I have asthma, and so I can't breathe half the time as is. And so like every day I'm like, fuck, do I have corona or do I just need my inhaler? It's been a huge freak out.
Yeah,
I don't know how we're back on the topic. We said we weren't going to talk
I
about
know.
it.
Sorry. It's because it's we're immersed in it.
Right?
But yeah.
I feel like
Anyway.
it's just, there's there's trends on crypto Twitter where something happens and just everybody talks about it and everybody tries to squeeze every last little bit of dopamine out of it and get all
Yeah.
that clout and then they move on to the next thing. So I'm trying to
I
start a
saw
new
where
trend.
yeah, I saw where I don't know, this is just like me being gossipy, I guess, but I saw where Bitlord left Twitter.
Yeah, do we know what
I
happened
don't
with
know.
that?
I was
No.
gone. I was on my little 2-day hiatus, so I
Some
just
dude
came back.
licked a toilet. I don't know if you saw that.
What?
Yeah. Bitlord said I'm pretty sure what happened. This happened yesterday. Was that Bitlord said he'd give somebody 1 Bitcoin if they licked their toilet bowl. I think that's how it started. Because I saw a video of some dude licking his toilet bowl, the inside of his toilet bowl, and it was like, "Where's my dollar?" or "Where's my Bitcoin?" And then after that, he was out. So I don't know if he deleted his account to just skip out on that Bitcoin or if he got banned for something. Um, but yeah, somebody licked.
Who? What the?
Mm-hmm.
What is this world that we live in? Like,
It is
I mean,
chaos. It is absolute
what the
chaos.
fuck? Like, are you kidding me?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I would do it, but
Charles, you're like, I'm really poor right now.
well,
So.
yeah, like 4 grand. I'm not gonna say 4 grand's a lot of money, um, but to some people on Twitter, 4 grand is a lot of money, and so I can see why somebody might lick a toilet bowl. Um, I'm not saying that I would. I'd probably do some other dumb shit for 4 grand. So if Bitlord wants to get back on Twitter, offer another. Oh, Bitcoin's like 6 grand right now. What am I talking about? I keep saying
Yeah.
4 grand. You should tell me I'm an idiot. But yeah, 6 grand, a lot of money. I'd do some dumb shit. Um, so okay, we talked about your whole California hiatus. I'm glad we were
Hmm.
able to talk about that. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you want our audience to know? We want to get deep and personal with Ashtoshi.
Yeah. Not really.
Wow,
I
you,
mean,
you sound so excited.
just leave me alone, people. Like,
That is like the last thing that you should be doing. You're a community manager. You work for these companies. You run their social medias. We've got a fucking podcast. Like you got to be out there and happy and engaging with people. You're doing the exact opposite right now.
yeah, no, just, I mean, we're about to get cut off, but like I said before, if anybody
No,
ever
we
needs
don't get
somebody to.
caught off because it's just the two of us. But
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool.
yeah,
No, just like if, like I said, if anybody ever feels like they need somebody to talk to, It might take me a while to get back to you, but I will try because I have all of my notifications turned off on Twitter. Um, so if anybody has DM'd me and I've never responded to you, most likely I saw it and was drunk and didn't want to respond to you. But if it's a situation like that, like I'm always open to talk to you. So other than that, no, just feel bad for me because I live in a really small, shitty town.
Hey, I'm gonna be there soon. I'm gonna come help tear up that town. I'll probably get bored in like a day and then leave. Cause it
Yeah, there's like
sounds.
one bar
I was gonna say it sounds pretty depressing out there,
here. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
ready
pretty
to get
terrible.
back on this trip. I want this shit to blow over. Um, if anyone's struggling, don't DM me. DM Ash. I've got less experience. I would say I'm more of a happy camper, and I don't think I'd be as much help in this situation. There's other stuff I could probably help with, but for this one specifically, hit up Ash. Um, anything
If
else?
anybody, yeah, I mean, if
Sorry.
anybody wants to sponsor us, that would be cool. Or if anybody needs help with social media, I can try to help you, but only if you pay me.
They just listened to that episode and they're like, "There's no way in fuck we're ever letting this girl anywhere near our social media." Um,
Yeah.
the few companies you have worked with have now gone under, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
blame them going under partially on you since you were their social media manager,
Yeah.
and I feel
Totally
like
my
I feel like
fault.
kind of. Um, I feel like a lot of the success of some of these companies actually does have a lot to do with the marketing. You look at like Justin Sun and Tron and the absolute shitcoin that it is, and it's still in the top 10, I believe. And that's all due to marketing. So,
Yeah, I think the issue was with the people that actually like the developers and stuff like never getting anything done. You know what I mean? At least Tron
yeah,
has like they may have copy pasted all of their stuff, but at least they have something
they're
kind of.
they're doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like these people were like, I mean, I don't know. It just I think too, like the market at that point in time just didn't really wasn't viable enough to support that type of project. Like people were already like, okay, ICOs are fucking done for,
Yeah.
you know? So it was kind of just one of those things where it was just the timing of things. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's really all there is as far as like in crypto with me. I still buy sometimes. I haven't sold anything, which is a little bit depressing. So
Ever. You've never sold anything.
nope.
Oh man, that's hard to hear. That
Yeah.
is very hard to hear, especially with the ups
Yeah.
and downs that we've had. We saw 19K, we saw 14K.
Yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself for not over the summer, like last summer, for not at least selling some. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna hope that we don't go completely to zero. That's all I can really do.
Yeah,
If we do,
we're all done
if
for if we go
we
to
do,
zero.
might need to find some antidepressants or
Oh
something.
man, go find another real job. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that. It's gonna happen eventually. I have this just feeling in the pit of my stomach that I'm gonna have to go get a real job at some point, and I'm not excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, it's kind of nice only having to like work for yourself or whatever and not have to listen to anybody else. But I don't think that's gonna, as far as crypto goes, I don't think that's gonna be. Sorry, Charles, I don't mean to rain on your parade,
Oh,
but
that's okay. That's
I don't think
totally
it's gonna
okay.
be a long-term gig.
Yeah. No, I'm
Ride it
gonna
out for as long as you can,
that. Well,
though.
that's the plan. I mean, if I still think even if Bitcoin, blows up, all of these kind of jobs that were created, they're gonna kind of get consolidated, and there's gonna
Yeah,
be a few people working in the industry, but it's not gonna be nearly as big as what it was, what it currently is. I
yeah,
just got to beat out Peter McCormick as one of the top guys on the podcast game, and hopefully I can ride it out for at least a little bit longer. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll just turn into a full-fledged influencer. I'll dox. I'll start posting pictures of myself. It'll be a travel Twitter and a podcast Twitter. It was already almost there. I was on the road tweeting about being on the road. I am segueing pretty seamlessly, and no one said anything about it. Like we had Nye transfer to rap, and that was talk of Twitter. Me,
Yeah.
on the other hand, I'm sneaky about it. I'm just like, I'll just give it to them a little bit at a time, and slowly but surely turn it into a travel Twitter.
There you go.
You're fucked. You got
Everybody's got to pivot at some point, I guess.
right. You got, what do you have going? You're just picking fights with everybody. What's your next move? Where are you headed in this
Uh,
online job journey?
I don't know. I don't really have a plan put in
Well,
place right
let's figure
now.
one out really quick before we end this, so we can start
Yeah, I
working
don't know.
towards it.
Um, Maybe I'll start working out again and get into fitness or something.
Oh
I don't
God,
know.
that is a
I'll be
market.
one of those.
Yeah, you'll be one of those people. I got a buddy I went to high school with who's actually a fitness Instagram influencer. He's like 250 pounds of pure muscle. He's got his clothing line and his supplement line, and I'm just like, fuck you, I hate you.
Yeah, there's a couple of girls here that actually live in this town that are like bloggers, mommy bloggers or whatever. They have like, I don't even know, 500,000 followers on Twitter. Like, who knows how much money they're making? I don't know. I'm just like, I cringe at those types of things, but
But then you see how much money
maybe,
they're making, and you're
yeah,
like,
they're doing
Jesus
it. So,
fucking Christ.
yeah,
It's ridiculous how much some of these guys are making. And how much some of
I feel like,
us were making at one point. Like,
yeah,
you know,
no,
it's,
exactly. I feel like it's starting to fall off. I feel like people are starting to drop everywhere in
yeah,
the space,
yeah.
um, which is interesting to see. But, if you're one of those people, you can come on the show and tell us about it.
There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've got a lot of depressing stories. A lot of people have capitulated. Um, Thanks for kind of giving us some insight into you. I know that can be kind of hard to talk about at times, but I feel like our audience kind of wanted to know who we are. So at some
Yeah,
point, we'll get back on. You can interview me. It'll be
cool.
super fun. Um,
All right.
Anything else before we kind of wrap this up?
Nope, just somebody sponsor our podcast.
There we go. That's all we need. All right, perfect. Thanks again for sitting down.